Today's graduates make up these heritage flights and will continue to shape our Air Force. And now, I'd like to take a moment to inform you on specific flight locations on the parade field, as viewed from the bleachers from your left to your right. The first 4 heritage flights to pass and review today are from the 323rd Training Squadron, Blue, Roy, Cody, and Matthew's flight. Next are McCoy and Andrew's flight from the 320th Training Squadron, followed by Wright from the 322nd Training Squadron. In the center of the parade field is the 737th Training Group's Drum and Bugle Corps, Murray flight from the 321st Training Squadron. The flight selected to carry our state and territorial flags is Erie flight, followed by Barnes flight from the 322nd Training Squadron. The last 4 flights to pass and review today are from the 326th Training Squadron, Del Toro, Griffin, Monkey, and Nathan flight. At this time, please find a place to sit. Thank you, and enjoy today's ceremony. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the entrance of our official party. Please remain standing for the invocation given by Chaplain Sneed.
Pastor, I invite you to pray with me. Almighty God, we thank you for the historical occasion that brings us together as airmen, leaders, family, and friends. We celebrate on this special day of achievement. We ask your blessing on these young men and women who have tirelessly worked many difficult weeks and have given so much of themselves to arrive at this moment. They did not arrive here today on their own. We thank you for their families and the sacrifices they made to make this day possible. We ask your blessings upon their families, the leaders and instructors who have dedicated their time and talents to train and prepare these men and women to lead. We ask your protection and guidance on the lives of these airmen. May they lead and serve with truth and remain steadfast in protecting the freedoms of our great nation. We pray they will always bring honor to the Air Force, to their families, and to themselves. We ask all these things in your almighty name. Amen.
Thank you, Chaplain Sneed. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to today's Basic Military Training Graduation Parade. We would like to introduce our distinguished guests, beginning with the host for today's ceremony, the Commander, Air Force Basic Military Training, Joint Base San Antonio, Lackland, Texas, Colonel Jason Carruthers. Representing the Superintendent, Air Force Basic Military Training, Chief Master Sergeant Rick Ryder. Today's reviewing officer is the Commander, 2nd Bomb Wing, Barksdale Air Force Base, Louisiana, Colonel Michael Miller. The Command Chief, 2nd Bomb Wing, Barksdale Air Force Base, Louisiana, Command Chief Master Sergeant Joshua Swenger. From the 37th Training Wing, the Vice Commander, 37th Training Wing, Joint Base San Antonio, Lackland, Texas, Colonel Philip Bourne. Also in attendance with us today, the Commander, Air Mobility Command, Scott Air Force Base, Illinois, General Marianne Miller. The Commanding General, 807th Medical Command, Fort Douglas, Salt Lake City, Utah, Major General Michael O'Gwynn. The Command Sergeant Major, 807th Medical Command, Salt Lake City, Utah, Command Sergeant Major Marlo Cross. The Deputy Director of Operations, Strategic Deterrence and Nuclear Integration Headquarters Air Mobility Command, Scott Air Force Base, Illinois, Brigadier General Joel Jackson. Brigadier General Steve Roser, United States Air Force retired, accompanied by his wife, Linda. We would also like to introduce a distinguished group in attendance with us today. Would the Air Mobility Command's civic leaders please stand and be recognized? Although time does not permit us to introduce all of our distinguished guests, the 37th Training Wing is proud to welcome each of you. We hope you enjoyed today's ceremony. The airmen who will pass and review today have completed a demanding 8.5-week program that provides Air Force units throughout the world with trained airmen. Part of this training includes the time-proven concepts of military customs and traditions, of which this parade is a vital part. All graduating airmen will also march over the Enlisted Heroes Walk. They will lead the way for thousands of airmen that will follow, all reflecting our enlisted heritage, tradition of honor, and our legacy of valor. Our Commander of Airmen is Master Sergeant Jerome Thomas, Military Training Instructor Trainer, 324th Training Squadron. Colonel Miller will review today's ceremony. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the playing of our national anthem. Thank you. Please be seated.
First come, first serve. Yeah, just that's one introduction for 17 years. So June was straight up. So he's a fair wrestler.
Present or accounted for.
So he was off duty.
737 Training Group, United States Air Force, Joint Base San Antonio-Lackland, Texas. Subject, Commander's Excellence Streamer. The Commander's Excellence Streamer is awarded to the 326th Training Squadron, Flight 359, for their significant accomplishments demonstrating teamwork, excellence, and a spirit of corps during the period of 11 March 2019 through 3 May 2019. Signed, Jason Carruthers, Colonel, United States Air Force.
Pictures.
737 Training Group, United States Air Force, Joint Base San Antonio-Lackland, Texas. Subject, Quarterly Retreat Excellence Streamer. The Retreat Excellence Streamer is awarded to the 322nd Training Squadron for excellence in retreat competition during the period of 1 January 2019 through 31 March 2019. Signed, Jason Carruthers, Colonel, United States Air Force. .737 Training Group, United States Air Force, Joint Base San Antonio-Lackland, Texas. Subject, Quarterly Parade Excellence Streamer. The Parade Excellence Streamer is awarded to the 321st Training Squadron for excellence in parade competition during the period of 1 January 2019 through 31 March 2019. Signed, Jason Carruthers, Colonel, United States Air Force.
Sir, I present the command.
March the command and review.
Practice.
Ladies and gentlemen, the graduating airmen passing through today represent a portion of the 40,000 recruits who will complete basic military training this year. The 737 training group provides all recruits the essential military training to become motivated members of the enlisted corps of the greatest air force in the world. The military training instructors are responsible for the indoctrination, development, and discipline of the airmen. They have dedicated endless hours to ensure all training objectives are met. Today's graduates have proven through academic studies, military training, physical training, and the development of teamwork that they are ready to take their place in the United States Air Force. The flights you will view today are representation of the enlisted force. Each flight represents an enlisted member of the Air Force who has embodied our core values and contributed to its heritage. As our graduates turn left onto the bomb run to pass and review, we'll march over the enlisted heroes walk. The airmen recognized on the pavement have been awarded our nation's highest honors, representing heroic and unselfish actions as members of the United States Air Force in armed conflict, including present-day operations in Afghanistan. They include 8 Medals of Honor, 27 Air Force Crosses, and 188 Silver Stars awarded for bravery during encounters with hostile enemy combatants. These enlisted heroes serve to inspire all our airmen to execute their duties courageously and with honor in their service to this great nation. Armed with the knowledge of our past, the airmen will exit the heroes walk by marching over a blue line, signifying their accession into the greatest air power in the world. Musical support for this morning's ceremony has been provided by the 737 Training Group's Drum and Bugle Corps, Marine Flight, the 321st Training Squadron. Performing today under the direction of Technical Sergeant Miles Hudlow, hometown, Raleigh, North Carolina. These airmen are also in basic military training, but have been hand-selected to perform for ceremonies of this type. We would like for you to notice our national, state, and territorial flags. As these flags pass into view, please stand and render the appropriate courtesies to our national flag. Once the flags have passed into view, please be courteous of others and be seated in order to allow our guests the opportunity to view the flags as they pass into view. Passing in review, our Commander of Airmen is Master Sergeant Jerome Thomas, Military Training Instructor Trainer, 324 Training Squadron, hometown, Chester, Pennsylvania. From the 321st Training Squadron, the Drum and Bugle Corps, representing Chief Master Sergeant of the Air Force, number 14, Marine Flight, led by Master Sergeant Nicholas Brock, hometown, Michigan, and Technical Sergeant Sandy Amos, hometown, Camden, South Dakota. Military Section 320 17, Cody Flight, led by Master Sergeant Eric Garza, hometown San Antonio, Texas. From the 323rd Training Squadron, Representative Medal of Honor recipient Matthews Flight, led by Technical Sergeant Tricia Dodson, hometown Dayton, Washington. From the 320th Training Squadron, representing Chief Master Sergeant of the Air Force Number 6, McCoy Flight, led by Technical Sergeant Gerard Basil, hometown Long Island, New York. From the 320th Training Squadron, representing Chief Master Sergeant of the Air Force Number 7, Andrews Flight, led by Technical Sergeant Zachary Shoemaker, hometown Weatherford, Texas. From the 322nd Training Squadron, representing Chief Master Sergeant of the Air Force Number 18, Wright Flight, led by Master Sergeant Jordan Gaddis, hometown Bremen, Indiana. The squadron selected as the color guard is from the 324th Training Squadron, led by Master Sergeant Mark Johnson, hometown Timber Lake, South Dakota. The flights selected to carry our state and territorial flags are from the 322nd Training Squadron, representing Chief Master Sergeant of the Air Force Number 1, Erie Flight, led by Technical Sergeant Terry Laker, hometown Brookville, Indiana, and Technical Sergeant Christina Lee, hometown Deltona, Florida. The B Squadron Commander is Technical Sergeant Jeremy Dolly, Military Training Instructor, 326th Training Squadron, hometown Rockville, Connecticut. From the 322nd Training Squadron, representing Chief Master of the Air Force Number 4, Orange Flight, led by Staff Sergeant Elvin Clark, hometown Augusta, Georgia. From the 326th Training Squadron, representing the first 100% disabled airmen to re-enlist, Del Toro Flight, led by Technical Sergeant Justin Williams, hometown Inman, South Carolina. From the 326th Training Squadron, representing a Purple Heart recipient, Griffin Flight, led by Master Sergeant Amber Davis, hometown Dallas, Texas. From the 326th Training Squadron, representing a Bronze Heart and Purple Heart recipient, Lonkey Flight, led by Technical Sergeant William Warren, hometown Whitman, Arizona. From the 326th Training Squadron, representing a Bronze Star and Purple Heart recipient, Nathan Flight, led by Technical Sergeant Christopher Michael, hometown Allen, Texas. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the playing of the United States Air Force song. Please be seated. Over the last 8.5 weeks, the airmen before you have transformed from civilians into motivated, disciplined, warrior airmen with a foundation to serve in the world's greatest Air Force. Once these airmen leave basic military training, they will continue on to technical training to learn the skills needed to perform in one of over 118 Air Force specialties. They will then move on to serve at one of over 84 Air Force bases around the world, or work directly with our sister services. As these airmen move on to technical training, they will continue to focus on adapting to military requirements, achieving occupational proficiency, and learning how to be a highly productive member of the Air Force. These men and women will prepare for increased responsibilities and must ensure they are trained, qualified, and ready to deploy and operate in an expeditionary environment while maintaining station readiness. Of the hundreds of thousands of American citizens that enter the workforce each year, less than 1% have joined the ranks of the U.S. military, and an even smaller percentage in the United States Air Force. You should be proud of their accomplishments thus far. The airmen before you have reached a milestone in their Air Force journey and will require your continued support to assist them in their future endeavors. These airmen are the future of our Air Force and will pave the way for future generations of airmen as we continue to fly, fight, and win.
You gotta see my campsite from this weekend. So this was our glamping. We were glamping.
That's pretty cool. You guys had a little home there.
Yeah, my girlfriend. It was her birthday, so
So what was it?
that we went to McKinney Falls. It's up by Austin.
Cool.
It was interesting. It was like camping in the city because there's like a lot of stuff like around. Like it's right by the
Oh,
airport.
okay.
Yeah. It's like camping at Pearl Harbor or something. Like,
Cool. That's all of my
yeah.
I got a kick out of that when I first got first off the boat. I think it's
Yeah, Easter, everybody goes to like the parks and stuff.
you would have done. Because you're like,
Yeah.
We're going to go out again. We're going to go to Stonewall. You heard of Stonewall? So I haven't been there. So we're going to do another, I think it's like a village. Like 4 weeks. We'll do that. Then we'll get the big one, of course, in California.
It's gonna be awesome.
It's going to cost me a lot of money. But not only put the trailer, I only put 10 miles.
Oh shit. Yeah.
The last time we went, but it's worth it.
Had a good time. I think next time we'll probably go somewhere like a little closer to San Antonio, either go to like Guadalupe or even like Enchanted Rock or
Yeah,
something.
yeah. So, Fort Dallas. It's a good Johnson City.
Yeah, I've been there. I've been for yeah, I've been there for like the day. I haven't camped there, but it's really cool. It kind of McKinney Falls kind of reminded me of that. 'Cause they have a lot of those areas where it's just like rock and water.
We got this store in Fort Dallas. It's like just a little chair down, sit in the water, drink beer,
Yep.
hang out.
Yeah, like summer when it was kind of dry.
Yeah, that, I don't like that. Oh well, good for you.
We would like to take a moment to congratulate all of our Squadron Honor graduates as well as their families. Basic military training honor graduates distinguish themselves by being ranked in the top 10% of all airmen graduated in their class. The exceptional personal dedication, integrity, service before self, and sustained excellence these airmen displayed throughout basic military training earned them this outstanding distinction. Your words of encouragement help motivate these airmen through 8.5 weeks of basic military training. On behalf of the United States Air Force and Air Force Basic Military Training, we extend our thanks to the many families and friends of America's airmen for the support of our airmen and the greatest air power the world has ever known. Chief Master Sergeant Slanger will now come forward and address our graduated airmen.
Wow, I'm almost at a loss for words. This is pretty humbling to see. So, to the graduates, I'm going to come back to you for a minute. To the distinguished guests, thanks for being here today. This is pretty awesome to have everybody here. Colonel Carruthers and Chief Kreider, I just want to say thanks for letting me do this with my boss and stressing the importance of the command team. We brought a whole bunch of our commanders and chiefs and first sergeants, and we believe in that, and I go to battle with that guy sitting next to you any day, so thanks for letting me help him out with this. To the family and to the friends who came out, thank you so much. Isn't this awesome? 26 years ago, I stood right where you're standing. And it's kind of almost hard to believe that it's been that long. But I'm going to come back to that in a second. I want to talk to your families. 8.5 weeks ago, you gave us your sons and your daughters, your sisters and your brothers, your nephews, your nieces, your friends. Some of you even gave your mom or your dad or your husband and your wife to the Air Force, and you're probably wondering, what are you going to get back, right? I can promise you they're the same person. But I like to think of them as upgrading. The staff here at BMT is giving you Johnny or Susie 2.0. And that's pretty awesome. And if you spend any time with them the last couple days or the next couple days, you're going to see that they sit up a little straighter, and they stand a little taller, they probably speak with a little more authority. And as Colonel Carruthers said yesterday, they can darn sure make their bed. And they're going to puff their chest out a little bit. And they deserve to. What's happened to them while they're here in this upgrade is the staff at BMT has taught them how to be wingmen. They've taught them how to be leaders. And they've taught them how to be warriors. So what we're going to give back to you is the United States Airmen. And that airman is part of the most feared and respected air and space force that mankind has ever known. And I'm proud to welcome them to the team. To the graduates, all I ask you to do is this. Think about why I said I was here 26 years ago. 26 years from now, I'm going to sleep good at night because one of you is going to stand right here where Colonel Miller and I get to stand and see all this awesomeness. And I hope that if you do, that 26 years has been as fun as mine has. And when you see these graduates, it just invigorates you and makes you want to do amazing things. So congratulations on completing basic military training, and thank you for everybody coming out. Thanks.
Colonel Miller will now come forward and address our graduating airmen.
Thanks, Chief. Good morning, everyone. General Miller, thanks for being here. Thanks for bringing your Civic leaders. This is an awesome experience for them, and we sure do appreciate them being here. Colonel Carruthers, I just want to say thank you for this privilege of serving as a reviewing official. This is absolutely one of the coolest things I've ever done in my career, and it will no doubt be a highlight of my Air Force career. Thank you very much for letting me do this. To all the military training instructors, words cannot express the depth of gratitude our nation owes you. The work that you do here every day, 365 days a year, to produce airmen is simply outstanding. On behalf of all commanders in the United States Air Force, I want to be so bold as to say thank you for what you do. I get the honor of leading these airmen, and I tell you what, they are simply amazing, and the product that you produce is absolutely outstanding. They are the most lethal, trained airmen that I've ever seen in my 25 years in the Air Force. Thank you very much, and a round of applause for your To all the families and friends here today, how about these airmen? Again, I want to be so bold as to say on behalf of all the commanders in the Air Force, thank you for loaning us what is undoubtedly one of your most prized possessions. My promise to you as a commander, I will take care of your airmen, I will ensure they're trained to kill the enemy, and that they will come home to you. Man, I'll tell you what, these are the most lethal airmen that our nation has ever seen, and they're your airmen in your United States Air Force. Thank you very much for your service. So all the veterans in the crowd today, could you please stand up? These airmen are your legacy. These airmen are your legacy. I want to thank you all for being here today to share in this awesome ceremony, but more importantly, I want to thank you for your service to our great nation. Thank you very much. All right, to the proud airmen in front of me graduating today from basic military training, congratulations. You have completed 8.5 weeks of rigorous basic military training, and you have earned the right to be called airmen. Remember, just over 2 months ago, you arrived here as citizens. Today, you will begin service to our nation as lethal trained killer airmen. In just a couple minutes, you're all going to raise your right hand and you're going to swear an oath to defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic, possibly by giving your life someday. It's an oath that less than 1% of all Americans in our history have ever taken on behalf of our country. This is a significant accomplishment in your lives. Your family, your friends, and I are proud of you. On behalf of the entire Air Force family, past and present, I want to personally thank you for taking that oath. We're proud of you, and we're even more proud that you've chosen to cross into the blue. Now, I have just one question for all of you. Are you ready to join the ranks of the most lethal and awesome Air Force that this world has ever known? I think they are, Colonel Carruthers. I think they're ready.
Instructors, basic flights at attention. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand. Colonel Miller will now administer the oath of enlistment.
right hand and repeat after me. I state your name. Do solemnly swear or affirm. That I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States. Against all enemies, foreign and domestic. That I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same. And that I will obey the orders of the President of the United States. And the orders of the officers appointed over me. According to regulations and the Uniform Code of Military Justice. So help me God. Congratulations, Jeremy. Welcome to the United States Air Force.
Thank you, Colonel Miller. Ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing as our newest airmen recite the Airman's Creed and remain in place for the departure of our official party. I am an American airman.
Mix up drummers in place, 8. 1, 2, right up, 1.
Thank you. Please be seated.